So with that, we bring in Oklahoma Senator and Senate Armed Services Committee member, Senator Markwayne Mullin. Senator, good to have you with us today.
Thank you, Martha.
So, you know, your reaction, we have heard from the Vice President and also from the Secretary of Defense, this is not about regime change, but the President just moments ago suggesting that maybe that is the way forward for Iran.
Well, that doesn't mean the United States is going to get into regime change. This isn't Hillary Clinton when she was trying to do the Arab Spring and the disaster that brought in. That just means that, listen, if the Iranian people want to change, we support them. Keep in mind, this fight, if you want to call it, to end their nuclear program in Iran isn't about the Iranian people. The Iranian people, we were very close to. In fact, Iran prior to 1979 was considered more of a Western state in the Mid East than any other place. This is about giving them the opportunity if they choose to. And so if the Iranian people want a regime change, that's on them. For us, what this whole operation was about was simply eliminating a threat that was either going to be dealt with today or at some time during the future. And you sure didn't want to deal with this with a nuclear Iran. We know this for a fact, right? Over 40 times since 1979, they have killed over 1,000 individuals over this 40 years, attacking us over 40 times. Just during the Biden administration, Martha, they attacked the United States personnel or assets over 11 times. So they're ratcheting up their conflict with us and at the same time trying to get a nuclear weapon. And this is not the Iranian people. This is the Iranian regime, which are two totally different things.
Yeah, I'm glad you're making that point. And it's something that we didn't hear a lot about in the early stages of this, but I think, you know, the president's post indicates that we're about to hear more about this because the Iranian people have been living in an oppressive regime.
That's right.
For all of these years since 1979, where women who wore whatever they wanted to wear, they studied whatever they wanted to study in school, suddenly had to have their heads covered or they risked being beaten by the religion police in the streets. And you know, God forbid anybody have a different leaning in terms of their sexual behavior. They were killed for that offense. I just want to play this quickly. This is the exiled Iranian crown prince who I spoke with the other day, and he's going to do an address tomorrow morning in London as well, and he'll be reacting to all of this. Here's what he said the other day.
The control apparatus of the regime is almost collapsing. And we see more and more of that sort of reports that are coming to us from personnel within the military or intelligence that says so, that it's really falling apart much faster than it was, let's say, last week.
Senator, finish your thought and respond to that, if you may.
Yeah, listen, the Shah's son there is basically giving the facts of what's happening in Iran. But keep in mind, for a regime change, there has to be a government willing to step in and take over, or chaos will pursue. So that's why I want to make it very clear that this will be the Iranian people that will make that change. Our whole goal here is to provide peace for the American people home and abroad. President Trump is a president of peace, but he does it by peace through strength, and deterrence is the best strength position to be in. And the Iranian regime having a nuclear weapon would not be good for us in any shape or direction. So what the president has done here, he's created an opportunity for the Iranian people to make a decision. Do they want to live underneath the regime that will literally blind you? Because it's not just simply beating you, Martha. If a young lady, God forbid, shows her hair, she can be blinded and her hand be cut off. And so this is a regime that is brutal to its own people. So we're giving them the opportunity to choose which direction the country wants to go. We are simply saying you will not continue to have a nuclear weapon and threaten the United States.
Yeah, it's tough to imagine the support existing when the only thing that the Iranian regime ever offered the people was the nuclear bomb program.
Exactly.
And death to America and death to Israel. That's it. That's their whole platform. They have a terrible economy. They have no currency. They have no future for young people. And, it'd be nice to see those political prisoners in Evin prison released.
That's right.
So we will see where this goes. Senator Markwayne Mullin, always good to see you, sir. Thank you
Martha, thanks
very
for having me
much.
on.